Across the velvet dark between stars, where silence ruled and only ancient radiation whispered of forgotten beginnings, a small alien reconnaissance craft drifted at the edge of a yellow star system. Its designation was Surveyor Unit Keth-17, property of the Galactic Expansion Directorate of the Galactic Dominion. Its purpose was simple: confirm whether the third planet of this system held any strategic value. Its crew had not expected to become a punchline. Inside the spherical bridge chamber, pale blue holographic projections shimmered around 3 Valari scouts. Their thin, translucent bodies floated within gravitic harnesses, elongated limbs resting idly as data scrolled past in neat columns of light. Primitive oxygen atmosphere, First Scout Etril stated flatly. Industrial signatures present, limited orbital debris, crude satellites, sublight propulsion technologies. Second Scout Marn clicked his mandibles in mild amusement. They still burn fossil hydrocarbons for energy. Their radio spectrum is chaotic noise. I detect thousands of overlapping signals. Entertainment, argument, advertisement. Any signs of interstellar capability? Etril asked. None. They have barely reached their moon. Several failed probes to neighboring planets. No warp signatures. No gravitic manipulation. No coherent planetary defense network. The third scout, Lethar, rotated slowly to examine the projection of Earth. Blue oceans, swirling clouds, green continents. Biological richness beyond measure. Life density is remarkable, Lethar murmured, but intelligence level, unimpressive. Etril logged the assessment with professional detachment. Conclusion: pre-FTL civilization. No threat, no immediate value. Planet suitable for later extraction when Directorate expansion wave reaches this sector. Marn let out a low vibration of humor. They will be excellent labor stock when harvested, physically durable, high population. Lethar magnified a view of a human city at night. Lights glittered like fireflies. They think themselves important, Lethar said softly. They do not even know they have been seen. Etril finalized the report and transmitted it through quantum relay. On the far side of the galaxy, deep within the Galactic Dominion's administrative core, the report appeared before a council of analysts. They skimmed it in under a minute. One analyst laughed outright. Another pre-FTL primitive world. They are everywhere. Market for long-term acquisition, another said. Schedule re-evaluation in 200 cycles. The report was archived. Forgotten. Mocked. And Earth was left alone. For now. On Earth, no one knew alien eyes had judged them insignificant. But someone had noticed something else. In a subterranean facility buried beneath kilometers of rock in what had once been called the Swiss Alps, a human physicist stared at a screen filled with impossible data. Dr. Elena Varga had been monitoring deep space anomalies for 15 years. Most were pulsars, radiation bursts, cosmic noise. This was different. A faint, perfectly structured spike in the background radiation, a signature that didn't match any natural phenomenon. A transmission. Not aimed at Earth. Passing through. But unmistakably artificial. She ran the data again. And again. Her heart pounded. This can't be real. She initiated a secure channel. Control, this is Varga. I need verification on anomaly record 9 alpha. Silence for a long moment. Then, we see it. Hold position. Within an hour, military vehicles were descending the mountain roads toward the facility. Within 6 hours, the data had reached people whose names never appeared in public records. Within 12 hours, the world's most secret project was reactivated. Project Aegis. A project born decades earlier when humanity had first asked the question no one wanted to say out loud. What if we are not alone, and what if they are not friendly? For decades, Aegis had been theoretical, budgeted quietly, laughed at privately, considered insurance no one expected to need. Now it had a reason to exist. Because that signal was not random. It was a handshake between stars. And it had passed straight through Earth's sky like humanity didn't matter. Which, to whoever sent it, they didn't. Inside a hidden orbital facility disguised as space debris, engineers began powering systems that had never been fully tested. Gravitic field generators hummed for the first time. Quantum calm arrays spun to life. And in a dry dock cloaked by experimental light bending fields, a ship awakened. Its designation was simple: TSV Resolute. Terran space vessel. It was never meant to be seen. Only used if the worst happened. And for the first time, humanity realized something terrifying. They had been seen. And judged. And dismissed. For the Galactic Dominion, 200 cycles later, Earth was scheduled for routine re-evaluation. Surveyor Unit Keth-17 returned to the yellow star system with the same casual confidence. Marn stretched lazily in his harness. "We will confirm nothing has changed and return." Etril nodded. A trivial assignment. Lethar brought up the planetary scan. And froze. Orbital signatures lit up the projection like a storm of fire. Hundreds of objects. Structured. Organized. Powerful. "What is this?" Lethar whispered. Etril scanned frantically. "Energy readings are off the scale. Gravitic distortions. They have developed field technology." "In 200 cycles?" Marn hissed. "Impossible." Below them, Earth was no longer a primitive world. Massive orbital platforms circled the planet. Defense grids pulsed with contained energy. Dockyards the size of continents floated in geosynchronous orbit. And something else. Something enormous. Something that was not there before. A ship. Longer than a Valari city arc. Bristling with unknown structures. Silent. Waiting. The Resolute. Before the scouts could react, their instruments screamed. They were being scanned. Thoroughly. Precisely. "Shields," Etril shouted. Too late. A narrow beam of coherent energy lanced across space and disabled their engines without damaging the hull. A warning shot. A message. "We see you." A transmission filled their chamber, translated instantly by their implants. A human voice. "Calm, controlled, cold. You are trespassing in Terran sovereign space. Identify yourselves." The scouts stared at each other in horror. They know what we are," Marn stammered. Etril swallowed. "Respond." "This is Valari Survey Unit Keth-17. We request clarification. This system was logged as pre-FTL and unclaimed." The reply came instantly. "You logged us as insignificant. You were wrong." Silence filled the bridge. The massive Terran ship turned slowly in orbit, and for the first time, the scouts felt something they had never felt before when observing a primitive world. Fear. Then the human voice said words that would echo through the Galactic Dominion for centuries. "Return home. Tell your masters Earth is no longer to be observed. It is to be respected." "And if we refuse?" Etril asked, trying to sound composed. The answer was simple. "Then we demonstrate why." The scouts did not test that statement. They fled. And carried the message home. The Galactic Dominion did not laugh this time. They demanded full sensor records. They replayed the encounter dozens of times. And for the first time in their history, the Valari High Council realized they had made a catastrophic mistake. They had ignored the numbers. Ignored the growth curve. Ignored the possibility that a species could evolve not gradually, but explosively. And then the final piece of data arrived. A single Terran ship had followed the scouts. Quietly. Undetected. All the way back. The Resolute had entered Valari space. And it had done so without being seen. Until it wanted to be. It appeared above the Valari capital like a silent god. Alarms screamed across the planet. Defense fleets mobilized. Weapons charged. But before anyone fired, the Terran ship transmitted one message to every screen, every implant, every communication network across the Dominion. "We were watched, mocked, measured." A pause. "Now you will measure us." And the demonstration began.